very conflicted. Obviously, I use the word. But I know that my mum would rather I not, my nan would rather I not. You know what I'm saying? But where I come from, I've just become so accustomed to using it. It's like any other word almost that I use. But it's weird because would our ancestors be proud of us?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No, I don't use the N-word.
I used to use it in songs only, and then I was told that it was offensive, you know. Even in songs, someone told me it offended them, so I stopped using it after.
It's a part of hip-hop culture, I guess, like the music and then just like slangs and stuff, and you just kind of pick it up as you go.
As a form of endearment to friends, lyrics, for banter.
No, I do rock with your word.
As a term of endearment.
It's a negative word, basically.
I don't use the word.
Why not?
It just burns me. I don't think it's a word that we didn't create it. It's not a word that is for us. I know everyone thinks they can appropriate the word and take it back, but it's a derogative term used for our kings and queens that I just don't personally approve of. Do you use the word?
I do, in I guess particular circles, not amongst the general public, but against me and mine. We use it based on the area that we were growing up on and the environment.
So how did you come across the word?
Hip-hop culture, from the area growing up where I grew up, then you would be more inclined to kind of use the word just in speech because for cultural purposes.
Non-black people and non-African Americans, I'm repeating myself, African Americans and non-West Indian people has picked it up not knowing the history behind it, or not fully understanding the intentions and why people use it.
At what point does the culture of black people, and this is the issue with the use of the N-word, become we are successful black people, we own corporate organisations, we are kings and queens, and that's not the culture that most people know black people to be associated with anymore. They don't associate that with black culture. It's so negative, and you need to understand that we've gotten to a stage where everything surrounding the black culture is negative. The word you can't joke about with the word rape, you can't joke about with the word murder, you can't say anything anti-Semitic, but the moment you use the N-word, it's absolutely fine. We need to understand the patterns that people have put in place to stop black people from being able to say, it's okay for you guys to discriminate against us and oppress us. The use of the N-word being a social term is proof of that.
Press reset if we do malfunction. We were just kids from the jungle.
Hey, right.
I took you from the high road to Cairo where we luncheon.
There we go. There is a disconnect somewhere. There's a disconnect somewhere, and there are a lot of people that don't really care whether black artists, black rappers, or whatever use that word in their music. I suppose because it seemingly, sells. It sells, it makes money for record labels. People are interested in hearing provocative things like that when it's on music. I was in So Solid. The government, were very hard on us about, the gun crime. But one thing they never really cared about was us using that word in music. Record labels were happy for people to be using that word, black people to be using that word. Do you know what I mean? It was like a common thing. Actually, it still is. Nothing's moved forward in that sense when it comes to artists are still willing to just keep on using that word in music or whatever. I guess what I learned on that journey was that the main thing for me was how me using that word in my music had started to affect people just like, that are not involved in music. 38 years old now, I could never speak like that. In a nutshell, we have to focus on being together first.
You out to Mr. Charles. From when the sun goes up to when the sun goes down, I hunt you down, I run this town alive. Baby, it's futile running, cause you found love in me the year we met 2000.